My name is Kala, Arvind Kala. For 10 long years unchecked, a bunch of fools ran this land of fools. I'll present some evidence of the kinds of stupidities that the BJP displayed in its 10 long years of unbridled power. For instance, 5 years ago, Mr. Modi threatened Pakistan that Mr. Modi and India would stop the waters of the Indus from flowing into Pakistan. Now, about the Indus, it originates in Tibet, flows through our part of Kashmir, and goes into Pakistan. So Mr. Modi threatened that he'd stop the water at Kashmir. But Mr. Modi, how do you stop, how do you dam a river which gushes at the rate of tens of thousands of cubic meters per second? How the hell do you do it? But Mr. Modi probably knows from from Vedic times, that a knowledge of damming a river. And about the Indus Valley, this water division treaty, it was between India and Pakistan. It was drawn up in 1960, 64 years ago, under the auspices of the World Bank, and it was a complicated matter, and it took 9 years to have it, and it has worked with. But Mr. Modi was willing to tamper with that. Mr. Modi, the Amazon runs through 10 countries in Latin America, the Nile runs through 11 countries in Africa, the Rhine goes through 8 countries of Western Europe. Nobody has dammed a river, so how do you do it? But Mr. Modi can do anything. So the kind of crap these guys talked all along. Now, Gadkari was the most brainy of these guys, very competent, very lovable fellow also, and a possible future contender against Modi. He said that India doesn't need to import 6 million tons of urea from overseas, because the urea can be produced from human urine. So, Mr. Gadkari, why haven't you done it in 5 years? In 5 years, what is the point talking of something? He said that in airports, etc., etc., urine could be stored and urine extracted from it. Another time, he said that human hair has amino acids. And he waters his own garden with his own urine, and he says the garden really flourishes in Nagpur, I presume, though I don't know how many people sit there. And these days he's talking of hydrogen cars, hydrogen cars. But hydrogen cars, do you know how many hydrogen cars there are in America? One out of 25,000. One in 25,000 in America, the most advanced nation in the world. But Mr. Gadkari can do it. Hydrogen cars, any old stuff. There's a minister of higher education in Madhya Pradesh who said that the Himalayas contain a herb called Sanjeevani, which can revive a dead man. So I would like to ask that Mr. Elon Musk, Indian version of Elon Musk, tell me, why didn't you revive the venerable Atal Bihari Vajpayee when he died a couple of years ago? Anything these fellows could say. I'll give you some examples of the stupidities, and what happens in in a government fool run by a bunch of fools. There is a competition among all those fools to appear more foolish. As because the more you foolish you become, the more the prime minister, the more the prime minister likes you. I'll give you some examples on scraps of paper I've wrote. Use Sanjeevani and Rajasthan, use cow urine to disinfect hospitals, to disinfect hospitals. Let's not forget that when Mr. Amit Shah got COVID 4 years ago, he went to Medanta and to All India Institute of Medical Sciences. He didn't go to another give vibes of peace to plants, and they will grow very well. This is how you give vibes of peace. Now I'm giving vibes of peace to this plant. See, alas, this plant is in my hand, but if it had been in the ground, it would have doubled in size by now with my vibes of peace. And uh, and I'll give you a couple of more examples. UP Minister keep 15,000, 20,000 cows in cow shelters, and it'll attract white tourists from all over. Yes, wealthy Americans and wealthy Europeans won't go to see the pyramids of Europe or the Eiffel Tower or this or the Amazon river or the Taj Mahal. They'll look at these cows which you in these shelters, which you see on Indians' roads anyway. So there was a competition among BJP fools to appear more foolish. Can you imagine Mr. Modi saying that our fighter pilots, Air Force pilots are so clever that they hide behind clouds so that enemy planes, fighter jets from China or there cannot shoot them down. Mr. Modi, there are 115,000 flights which take off and land every day in the world. You think all those 115,000 planes do not go through clouds across the globe? This is the level, this is the level. If you have Gopal Bhargav, a BJP leader, saying that people who eat eggs, they're cannibals, meaning they eat human flesh. Array, Mr. Gopal Bhargav, don't you know that eggs are the only source of complete protein that poor Indians can afford? And then you're telling them not to eat this. Jesus Christ! I mean, the kind of competition in stupidity, and these are just a few examples. Um, uh, few examples. So what the hell, yeah? What is the point of all this? Apart from the fact that Mr. Modi, right in the at the beginning of his 2014 onwards rule, he said that our Vedic surgeons knew plastic surgery. Otherwise, how could they plant an elephant's head on Lord Ganesha's body? Can you imagine this kind of crap that these people have talked? And they're the leading, economic superpower and all that. We are this, we are that, all shabashi. We are so great, we are so great. So if you're so great, why do you talk like chutias, yeah? I mean, this is the kind of level that they were. Now, at last, Mr. Modi's power will be diluted somewhat because they depend on two other parties to support them in his third term. So maybe his stupidity will be diluted, or maybe not. Maybe not. Foolish people don't know they're foolish. That's the trouble with foolish people. That's why they remain foolish. If they knew they were foolish, they would become more intelligent. Well, friends, I think I've given enough examples. If you like this, please forward it to everybody you know. It helps me. And subscribe to my channel if you can. That also helps me. So it's time for me to buzz off and see you later, alligator.